Hey dudes, it's Hannah, and today I'm going to be doing a sort of get to know you type video. I know it's kind of a weird way to put it, but you know, you can get to know me. Not that you really want to, but you're gonna get to anyways. So I'm just going to answer some questions.
What is your name? What is your quest? What is your favorite color?
It's not like questions that anyone asked because no one asked questions. The first question I'm going to answer is, if you could live anywhere, where would it be? If I could live anywhere, it would either be Alaska or Scotland. I love mountains and cold. What is your biggest fear? So, what is my biggest fear? Well, what is my biggest fear? I think I just have the general, everyone's typical biggest fear, which is just being alone. What motivates you to work hard? Well, I actually have a whole video on staying motivated and what motivates me. So, I guess I kind of already answered that question with a video. The next question is, what is your favorite thing about your career or future career? Which I don't really know, like, I guess the job in general would be it for me, because I want to be a doula. It's just, you know, being there for the birth and everything. It's just a new life, and it's just beautiful. It's amazing. What is your favorite book to read? And this is kind of a hard one because I have dyslexia and I don't read very well. So the book that I enjoyed reading the most when I read it was probably Howl's Moving Castle. And then other than that, I've got a massive selection of medical books that I read. So mainly just medical books or Howl's Moving Castle or something like that. I don't know that there's ever been a particular moment in my life where I'm like, oh yes, this book right here, except for like with Howl's Moving Castle. So I don't really know how to answer that. I don't really read. What was the last movie you watched and what did you think about it? I think was Annabelle Creations. And great movie. 10 out of 10. Loved it. The best ever. Would you rather ride a bike, ride a horse, or drive a car? And I would much rather drive a car. I'm not the best at driving, but most certainly a lot better than riding a bike and riding a horse. Horses don't like me. We have a mutual thing to stay away from each other, and I'm not good with bikes. Which would you rather do? Wash dishes, mow the lawn, clean the bathroom, or vacuum the house? And I would much rather wash dishes. That has always been something that if somebody else doesn't want to do it, I will always take that job first because I love washing dishes. I just love like because your hands are so warm in the water, and I know that's just the weirdest reason for that ever, but that's my reason for it. Have you ever had a nickname, and what was it? I've had a few different nicknames. I've never really had like a nickname that everyone called me, but me and my best friend, we used to call each other Liz and Patty from a show called Soul Eater, and we would call each other Liz, and I forget who was Liz and who was Patty, but we did that for the longest time, to the point that there were some people that actually thought that's where our names were, and it was really funny. But other than that, I think, I mean, in a past relationship, I mean, everyone has like weird pet names or something like that, but I never really had a nickname. That's one thing that, like, my name's Hannah. You can't really make a nickname out of that. I mean, it's the same backwards as forwards. There's no real way to turn it into a nickname at all. Do you like or dislike surprises? And this is an easy one for me. I absolutely love surprises. I really don't know why, but something about like the anticipation of it, I just really like. I just think it's so fun to have surprises and things like that. In the evening, would you rather play a game, visit a relative, watch a movie, or read? And I would much rather watch a movie. I just like sitting down and doing nothing, especially if I have like a particular person I like hanging out with, like one of my siblings or my mom or something that I can, or my dad, just something that I can, person I can sit there and watch a movie with. I love watching movies. The other stuff, I mean, I don't read, I don't like to get out of the house, and there's generally not enough people in my house to play a game. Would you rather vacation to Hawaii or Alaska, and why? Much rather Alaska. Like, we just talked about this in the other question. I just love mountains and snow and cold, and that's just like my favorite thing. List 2 pet peeves. So this one is kind of easy for me because my pet peeve is people not believing me and people lying. So it's kind of easy. My pet peeve is people thinking I'm lying, and then my other pet peeve is people lying. So it's kind of just lying in general. I don't like people to think I'm lying, and I don't like people to lie. I just like the truth to be the truth and no one to mess with it. It's kind of... Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I really don't know, because I don't like to think about the future because I don't want to give myself expectations that I can't achieve. So, if ideally, I would have my doula certificate, you know, be state certified and all that, and be working in that field some way or another. And other than that, I don't really have any expectations for the next 5 years of my life. And even thinking about it like, oh, find someone or things like that, but at this point in my life, that's not something I really think about, you know? There's no reason to. How many pair of shoes do you own? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I own 8 pairs of shoes. If you were a superhero, what powers would you have? I'll just go to McDonald's. What form of public transportation do you prefer? Air, boat, train, bus, car. And if it's public transportation, I would rather walk. I don't like people. I don't like public spaces. I don't like any of that. So, on going with that, pretty much none of the above. What is your favorite zoo animal? A fox or a llama or something like that? I don't know. I don't really have a favorite animal because I like them all. Maybe a fox though. If you could go back in time and change one thing, what would it be? I don't think that I would change anything. Like, at least not in my life, obviously. Or not in anyone else's, because you never know what would happen if you changed one thing or did one thing differently, because you learn from your mistakes. Like, there's some things that are like, oh man, I wish I would have done that, or I wish that wouldn't have happened. But at the same time, you have no idea what your life would be like if you didn't do that thing, or if you didn't make that mistake, or if you didn't date that person for 2 years that you wish you never even became friends with. Anyways, the next question, how many pillows do you sleep with? I sleep with 1 pillow. I don't need no more. Would you rather trade intelligence for looks or looks for intelligence? Definitely looks for intelligence. Intelligence is much more important than looks. I really don't care about looks. How often do you buy clothes? Rarely? And if I do, it's at Goodwill. So, however you wanna take that. Have you ever had a secret admirer? I don't know that I've ever had a secret admirer. I've had admirers that were just weird. What's your favorite holiday? For me, that would definitely be Christmas because I like everyone being together. What is your favorite type of foreign food? Noodles. What is your favorite fast food chain? And this is a really easy one. Rallies. I love Rallies. I think it's also called Checkers. I'm not sure. But that is my favorite fast food place ever. Do you love or hate roller coasters? I don't know, because I can't go on them. I have this really cool thing called neurocardiogenic syncope. What's your favorite movie? And this is a very easy one. My favorite movie is probably The Conjuring. I love that movie. It's amazing. What 3 items would you take with you on a deserted island? I would probably take my art bag, because if I took it, it'd have all the stuff in it. My weighted blanket, and probably a computer. How old were you when you learned that Santa wasn't real? That's the thing. I never believed in Santa. when I was really little, people would say stuff about it. And I would be like 2 or 3, and people would be like, oh, did Santa get you anything? Or like my parents would say something about Santa. I'd be like, Santa's not real. Like, I would just be like, very straightforward in my belief that I did not believe in Santa, and I just never did. Ever. What's the craziest thing you've ever done in the name of love? Date my ex. What was your favorite subject in school? This was definitely for me anything that was like anatomy, biology, science, anything like that. I loved it, and I loved studying those things, and just any medical stuff I'd get my hands on. In last year's school, I was doing my brother's college anatomy book because I just love anything like that. What is the most unusual thing you've ever eaten? When I was younger, I ate paper. Do you collect anything? I definitely collect things. I collect tiny things, just tiny cute things, especially that are in pastel colors, and stuffed animals and things like that. So yeah, pretty much anything like that. Is there anything you wished would come back into fashion? Definitely. If you've ever seen my closet, pretty much any old type clothes I love. I just absolutely love them. There's just something about them that I love so much. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? I am extremely introverted. Definitely an introvert. Which of the 5 senses would you say is your strongest? Well, I have SPD, so all of them. Have you ever had a surprise party? In parentheses, that was an actual surprise. I've never had a surprise party, but one time they used my birthday to create a surprise party for my aunt. But I've never had a surprise party. Are you related or distantly related to anyone famous? I forget who, but I'm pretty sure that I am distantly related by marriage to like a famous golfer or something. I forgot who it was. Who was your favorite teacher in school and why? I'm homeschooled. I only have one teacher. But in all honesty, my mom was my teacher, but I really did enjoy like when my brothers would teach me stuff. That was always fun. If you had a warning label, what would it say? Fragile. Definitely that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how funny would you say you are? I'm not really sure, but I would probably say 3. It's like a solid average, almost. How many languages do you speak? I speak 1 fluently, but I also speak a little bit of Russian. Who is the most intelligent person you know? Probably the person editing this video. Shout out to my brother Sean for editing my videos for me. If you could describe yourself as an animal, which one would it be? Honestly, probably just a normal house cat. What is one thing you will never do again? Date my ex. That's the last question. I don't think there's any more on there. Well, thank you for watching this vlog. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye! It's not me. And then I just love Scotland. So, if you were a superhero, you were a superhero, what are you gonna do? Just sit there and be pretty? Ever. Deserted item. Prevent.